Hey, listen, there's a book that I read a while ago, and it bears reading again, I think. It's written by a guy named Dr. David Hawking. It's called Power versus Force. And it's actually a pretty cool book. It's a heavy read, so you can't be tired when you're reading it. But it's his very opening statements, and it's kind of my driving mantra, and his comments really kind of sunk home and really is part of my underlying driver. And he said two things that kind of got me hooked. The first one, he said, mankind's dilemma has been and always continue to believe that he believes his mental artifacts to be reality, right? So we actually believe what we think, what's going through our mind is actually true. And the second thing he said was quite poignant, and I may misquote it, but in essence he was saying, and the problems we ask of the significant the questions we ask are the significant problems we find ourselves with, the problems we're wrestling with. Well, the questions are biased on the viewpoint of the person asking the question, right? So even the phrasing of a question, even the initiation of a thought, by the fact that we alone initiated the thought, the idea, the question, the query is already biased to a particular point of view. And the point of view is getting back to those mental artifacts that we now believe to be reality. So we are nature observing itself. So how do you get out of that? How do you get out of that rabbit hole when everything we do and say is in complete subjectivity? And I think the only reference point that's available to us is the concept of strong moral compass, the greater good. But even that in itself is subjective, right? So that's been an interesting. I think it's called a koan. It's a riddle that doesn't have an answer, and that's where philosophy comes in, because we can philosophize this whole idea forever. So yeah, and that's why I think that's why we invented tequila, personally. So that's kind of my brain. I'm kind of curious, like, how do we? Not only do I question, I don't always question the validity of things I hear from everybody else. I more often question my own thought process and really challenge the validity of my own internal statements, and always asking the question, why? Where does it come from? Why do I think that way? Is it for my own betterment solely? Is it completely self-serving? Or is there an altruistic nature to it all? So yeah, lots of stuff to think about in these crazy minds. Hope you have an amazing day. I'm off to the gym. We'll see you later.